Assalamu alaikum and good morning, my dear students. How are you all? Hope you guys are doing well. I welcome all of you to today's biology class. So, dear students, we were discussing about the sexual mode of reproduction in the previous class, right? And we discussed about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, I think all of you are thorough with the reproductive parts of flower, that is separate in male and female parts, is it? That is stamen and pistil. And also about the process of fertilization in plants, how the fertilization occurs and how the zygote is formed, and after the zygote formation how the embryo is formed, and how the seed and fruits are formed after the formation of embryo, and how the new plant is arised from an embryo. Okay, that is from a seed. So, in today's class, we will be discussing about the sexual reproduction in humans. Okay, so how the sexual reproduction in human occurs? We know that humans are more complex, is it? Humans are a complex organism than plants and any other organisms. So we have a separate organ system for doing this reproduction process, is it? So you know that for sexual reproduction or the fertilization is the process of the fusion of male and female gamete, and the male gamete in human is called sperms and female gamete is called egg or ova. Okay, that all we discuss later. So we have separate male organ system in male and female, as we have seen a separate reproductive parts in flower called stamen and pistil. Okay, so before that we have to discuss about the adolescent period. Before going to the detail about the reproductive organs and all, we have to know about the adolescent period. You know that you are going through the adolescent period now, right? You have completed your childhood stage and you haven't reached the adulthood stage, right? You are in between these two groups. That is, you are now dealing with your adolescent period, the age group that is from 13 to 18. You include in that group, right? So during this adolescent period, a lot of physical changes occurs in your body. You can notice that all changes in your body right now. Most of them have reached that stage earlier, but now some of them will be in that stage now, is it? So you can see a lot of physical changes. These physical changes can be seen both in girls and boys, and some of these changes will be common in these both in boys and girls, but some changes will be different. For example, you can see now the growth of the hair in your body, like in your armpit and in genital areas, you can see the growth of hair. That will be common in both boys and girls. But there are certain changes that is different in boys and girls during this stage. Okay, so in boys you can see there will be increase in their height, is it? There will be a certain increase in their height, and there will be some changes in their sound, and there will be some growth of hair in their face and body, etc. These are some changes occurs in boys during the adolescent period. Okay, and in girls there will be changes like there will be an increase in size of their breast, and there will be the menstruation starts in the girls. Okay, so as we said, some changes are common like the growth of hair in the armpit and genital areas, but some changes are different in both the sexes. Okay, so you can see during the adolescent period, the physical growth may become slowed down, and there is a growth of the reproductive tissues or organs. That is, sexual maturation occurs during the adolescent period. Clear? So this particular stage in the adolescent is called puberty. What is it? Puberty. Now you most of them have reached the puberty already. Some of them will be dealing with that stage now. Some may deal with that later. Okay, it is according to each person's physical structure and all. Okay, So that particular stage during the adolescence is called puberty. So girls may attain the stage of puberty earlier than boys in most of the cases, and boys may come across that stage after that. That is, girls mature faster than boys. Okay, so these are about the adolescent period, and also these all physical changes are occurring in your body due to the presence of certain hormones in your body. Okay, in the male or in boys there is the presence of the hormone called testosterone. Okay, testosterone is produced by the sex organ of your body during this particular stage, and also in females the estrogen and progesterone takes place this role. Okay, so these are about the adolescent period, and next we will be discussing about the reproductive structures in male and female. As we have said, there is a particular or there is a specialized organ system in both male and female for reproduction. It is there is male reproductive system and female reproductive system in male and female. Okay, so we will be discussing about these in detail. So let's look into the topics. The male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of portions which produce the germ cells. So the male germ cell is sperm, right? And other portions that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. And what is fertilization? It is the fusion of male gamete with the female gamete, right? So the human male reproductive system consists of different parts like testis, scrotum, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland and penis. And each part have different functions too. So the testes, they are the oval shaped organs which lie outside the abdominal cavity of a man. That is, it will be seen outside the body. Okay, a man has two testes, and these testes are the reproductive organs in man. Okay, and the function of this is to make the sex cells, male sex cells, that is what, male gamete or sperms. Okay, and also to make the male sex hormone, that called testosterone. So the function of the testes is to produce the sperms, and also they will secrete the male sex hormone testosterone. And the testes of a man lie in a small muscular pouch called scrotum. So next part is scrotum. So this testis lies inside this sac-like structure called scrotum. It is also seen outside the abdominal cavity. So outside the abdominal cavity, testis is seen, and this testis is seen inside a sac-like structure called scrotum. Do you know why this testis is seen outside the abdominal cavity of the body? Because the sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. So that is, the normal body temperature doesn't favor the production of sperms. That's why it is placed outside our body. Now the sperm is formed in the testis, and the sperms are carried by a long tube called a vas deferens, or it is otherwise called a sperm duct. And this vas deferens will join with another tube called a urethra, that is coming from the urinary bladder. Okay, so along the path of the vas deferens, there are some glands called seminal vesicle and prostate gland. So these glands will add some secretions so that the sperms are in a fluid-like form. Okay, so the secretions of the seminal vesicle and prostate gland provide the nutrition to the sperms and also make their further movement easier. So, urethra forms a common passage for sperms and urine. Urethra carries the sperms to an organ called penis, which opens outside the body. So, this is about the male reproductive system. So, the sperm that is male germ cell is a tiny body that consists of mainly three parts: head, middle piece and a long tail. So inside the head there will be the nucleus, that is, which include the genetic material, and there is a long tail that helps them to move towards the female germ cell. So next one is the female reproductive system. So the human female reproductive system consists of parts like ovaries, oviducts or fallopian tube, uterus, cervix and vagina. The ovaries are the oval-shaped organs which are seen inside the abdominal cavity of a woman near the kidneys. So a woman have two ovaries. The ovaries are the primary reproductive organs in a woman or female. And the function of ovaries is to make mature female sex cells, that is female gamete, called ova or eggs, and also to make the female sex hormone called estrogen and progesterone. Okay, and each ovary is composed of several thousands of follicles, which are a kind of unripe eggs or unripe ova. And puberty, these follicles mature to form ripe eggs or ripe ova. That is, they will be unfertilized one, they will require fertilization. And just above the ovaries there are tubes called oviducts or fallopian tube. Okay, so the oviducts or fallopian tube are not directly connected to the ovaries but have a funnel shaped openings which almost cover the ovaries. The ovum or egg cell, that is female gamete released by an ovary, goes into the oviduct through this funnel shaped opening. And also the fertilization of egg by a sperm takes place in this oviduct. You can see both the ovaries have the oviduct. So the two oviducts connect to a bag-like structure called uterus, or we can say the womb. What is the function of a uterus? The growth and development of a fertilized ovum into a baby takes place in the uterus. Okay, and the uterus is connected through a narrow opening called cervix to another tube called vagina in the woman's body. So vagina is a tubular structure, and vagina is also called as birth canal because it is through this passage that the baby is born after the completion of development inside the uterus of the mother. So this is about the female reproductive system. Okay. So students, in today's class we discussed about the adolescent period, the changes during adolescent period, and about the male reproductive system and also their parts, different functions they perform, and about the male gamete and about the female reproductive system and its parts and functions. I think all of you understood today's topic. So if you have any doubt, we will clear it in the live class. Okay, that's all. We will meet in the next class. Thank you all of you.